Hi there. My name's Dave Bonslar. I am pastor at Bridge to Grace Church here in Roswell, Georgia. Bridge to Grace is a part of the Evangelical Covenant denomination. And I mention that because that's where my ordination is held. And one of the departments in our denomination is called Love, Mercy, Do Justice. And it has a focus on racial righteousness and injustice throughout our country and throughout our world. And I really appreciate its ministry and its intention and its focus. So when I saw this topic for a reflection for Conversatio, I was excited to be able to offer this here in this context because it's something that's near and dear to my heart as well. The passage that I want to look at, that I've been given to look at, is Micah 6, verses 6, 7, and 8. And it reads like this: How can I stand up before God and show proper respect to the high God? Should I bring an armload of offerings topped off with yearling calves? Would God be impressed with 1,000 rams, with buckets and barrels of olive oil? Would he be moved if I sacrifice my firstborn child, my precious baby, to cancel my sin? But God's already made it plain how to live and what to do. What God's looking for in men and women is quite simple. Do what is fair and just to your neighbor. Be compassionate and loyal in your love. And don't take yourself too seriously. Take God seriously. That is the word of the Lord. As I thought about that passage and I thought about what I would share, I want to bring you back to the Christmas season, if you will. Might surprise you, my wife and I have a seasonal business where we are seasonal entertainers as Santa and Mrs. Claus. And we work with families of all sorts. We work with little kids, babies. This past year I had a baby in my arms that was 2 weeks old. And we work with seniors. We love actually going to senior homes, assisted living places, and just bringing the joy of the Christmas season, bringing the joy of the incarnation to life in these homes. And it's a very special season. And this year I had the special opportunity to present to some people, both young and old, the special coin. A friend of mine made these for Santas. And I didn't give them to everybody. I gave them to the few people that came along that I really felt prompted to share this with. And you can see on this side of the coin, it has one word, 4 letters, love. And as I read this passage, it reminded me of what I would share with these adults or kids that I gave this coin to this year. And so I'm going to share that with you. I would ask people, what do you think the greatest gift of Christmas is? And sometimes they go, I don't know. Every once in a while, somebody go, well, the greatest gift of Christmas is, of course, Jesus. And when I got that answer, I seized on it, because that just leads right into how we are to live and respond to God's goodness and God's love. Well, God taught us that the greatest gift of Christmas is love. John 3, verse 16, for God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son. So if it wasn't for love, one could imagine that God would not have sent Jesus, right? So that love is a very important thing. And when I tell the people that, I also remind them of this truth, that they are deeply, deeply loved. And there isn't anybody, young or old, that didn't appreciate being reminded of that. You are deeply, deeply loved. You're deeply loved by God. You're deeply loved by your parents, by your siblings, by your family, by your friends, even by Santa. You're deeply loved. But with that gift of love comes, I think, a twofold responsibility. And that is to go and love the people in your life and to always be kind. And it seems to me that if we do that, when I do that, I'm actually fulfilling what the prophet is encouraging us to do. God's made it perfectly plain and clear how we are to live and what we are to do. He's looking for men and women to do what is fair, to do what is just to our neighbor. That's called love. To be compassionate and loyal in our love, and don't take ourselves too seriously. Take God seriously. And God is a God of love. That's my story, and I hope you enjoyed it and appreciated it, and I hope you found hope in it. God bless.